It's another beautiful California morning here. Another freight train just went by the tracks here. And girls, we woke up, had a good night's sleep. Ember ate her breakfast. No, that's Spirit ate her breakfast. Ember is just too wound up in the morning to eat till she kind of settles into a routine. But we're sitting here waiting maybe another hour or so, relaxing in the sun. We're gonna go see a fossil discovery center. So we're just kind of keeping calm here, relaxing. Ember sees a whole bunch of birds flying just above the grass level, and it drives her nuts. She can't go chase them. If I did that, she'd be 25 acres gone. You know, Spirit's hanging out with me. She's just kind of waiting for us to do something. But yeah, let's see here. Oh yeah, it's that time of year when the shadows are like really, really long. And the girls are just enjoying being someplace else here every night. It's an adventure, day by day. We'll be moving around. You know, we're not going to stay down at the LTVAs for like a month at a time or such. There's plenty of BLM land around that area that we're going to go explore again. And just kick back and enjoy, hopefully, a winter of sun, not gloom and doom and rain and clouds and atmospheric rivers and windstorms and lightning, tornadoes, and all that other wonderful crap we're starting to get up in the Pacific Northwest. I tell you, it's like, I swear, like I say, somebody tilted the planet. So I'm going to play with the girls some more, and then we're going to hit the road here before we end up somewhere else for the night. So you guys out there, stay tuned to Doggone RV'N, and we will catch up with you. Well, here we are at our first stop today on our way to our next overnight location, wherever that might be. This looks like a pretty interesting place according to the website, so we're going to go in and tour it. Over here under that large area is a mock dig site for kids to go in and pretend they're actually digging up fossils. Pretty awesome. So let's go check out the place. The girls, I've gotten out, stretched their legs, walked them around, put them back in the kennel or in the RV, and they'll be there. They're in the shade and they got plenty of water. They're fine. As you enter the Fossil Discovery Center here, we have this huge fossil of a Colombian mammoth, which I believe they said in the video you watch was larger than the commonly known woolly mammoth. So all these fossils were found at the Fermi landfill. When you come here, you're given a self-guided tour booklet for the entire exhibit that explains the history and everything of all that you see. So let's continue. This shows how the fossils are protected at the dig site. They're encased in a plaster cast and then carefully chiseled out from underneath them so they can be transported to a research center to be cleaned and prepped. Here's an example of some of the tusks of the mammoths they've found in the Fermi landfill. Among some of the species of prehistoric mammals they found here was the short-faced bear, the dire wolf, and a couple species of saber-toothed cat. And here we have the ass end of a Colombian mammoth. Here we have fossils of various prehistoric horse species and even camels that lived in this territory back then. There's also ground sloths and just a multitude of prehistoric mammals that lived in this area. Here we have a beautiful example of many different rocks and minerals from the area. I used to be a hardcore rock hound back in the 60s, and at one time I thought I was going to be a geologist. In fact, I was so excited about finding fossils, I dug a 13 or 14 foot hole on the side of our house. It was 14 feet deep. I had to put an 11-foot ladder down it to continue digging. And one night in a torrential storm, a dog came into our yard, fell into the pit, and woke my parents up because it was right outside their window. My dad had to go out there in the pouring rain with my mom holding a flashlight. My dad had to lasso the dog, haul it out of the hole, and that thing was gone in a blink. After that, I had to fill in my hole. But I did find a rock crack open, and I did find a fossil of a fern. But then I made a time capsule of sorts, put it at the bottom and buried it. Who knows, maybe someday someone will find it. Over here we have a skeleton of an American camel that was here quite often. Then over here we have a ground sloth. Those things were huge too. This chart here on the wall will give you some idea as the size of these creatures, considered the height of a normal human being. Yeah, these creatures have been eaten lately, it looks like. Probably past visitors that were too slow. Again, it's close to Halloween, so that's why things look a little spooky. The museum also covers the Native American people that lived in this area long after the dinosaurs. The Yokuts lived in this area, made all kinds of pottery and weavings, and even created reed boats to get around. And head southeast to Peggy Sue's 50s Diner, a place I always stop off when I'm down here to get a good meal and to rest overnight. If you look across the freeway on the hill, you can see the word Calico. Right below that is the famous Calico Ghost Town, which, if you're interested in Western history and mining, is a must-see. It's got several of the authentic buildings still standing and mines that you can travel through and explore. So, with that, I let the girls out to exercise, relieve themselves, sniff around, and you can see in the back they have huge ironworks, King Kong and a couple dinosaurs on mounds. And further around there are ponds and waterways through the back, and they have huge pond turtles and ducks and swans and other critters that reside there. And it sure got the attention of the girls. They were fascinated by all the birds and animals. When I came out from dinner, I tried to get a picture of all three of us together, but the dogs were more interested in the birds and the turtles in the pond than me. So after they got tired of watching those critters, we came back into the RV for the night, because tomorrow we were heading towards Joshua Tree, and we were all excited as what we were going to explore there.